Okay, let me ask you this, and I don't know the answer. You're talking about when we go to trial, we can get attorney's fees. Do all cases go to trial? Do a lot of cases settle? And do the fees get handled differently if it's a settlement versus a trial? Great question. 95% of cases settle, probably more than that, and especially in the employment context. And trial is actually also different in the employment context. A lot of people, when they first start a job, sign a bunch of papers. And in those papers, there is usually an agreement to do what's called arbitrate your claims. It's an arbitration agreement that takes away your right to a jury trial. And most people sign that not knowing what it is, or if they do know what it is, they don't think they can ever negotiate it, which is also something we should spend a whole podcast topic on, because I feel very strongly about our constitutional right to a jury trial and the fact that we should have it and it should be preserved, and it's really important. And arbitration is something that favors companies more than plaintiffs, in my view. So some cases go to arbitration instead of trial, but nonetheless, 95%, if not more, cases settle. When it comes to attorney's fees that are representing plaintiffs, the vast majority of them in the employment space are paid by a contingent agreement, which means a percentage of whatever the client, the plaintiff themselves recovers in the case. So it means if I'm a client, I don't pay my attorney hourly, which helps in my case because my clients have just been fired, so they don't have a lot of cash flow. And the firm and the lawyer will front all the costs, but knowing that at the end, whatever pot of money I'm able to recover in the case, a portion of that has to pay for costs and a portion has to pay for my attorney's fees. In the employment context, if we try our case and we win, like I said, the company will have to be required to pay the attorney's fees separately. If the question that I think you're asking, which is one that I get a lot, is, well, what happens to the attorney's fees if we settle? In my experience, when we're trying to resolve a case, you're usually just resolving for one pot of money. So when I'm communicating with my client and when we're in those settlement discussions, all of us are on the same page that whatever pot of money we are going to get, the final total settlement sum, that a portion of that is going to come out of for attorney's fees. And that's partly because a defendant, in my experience, a company kind of has trouble wrapping their head around also paying an attorney separately. And there can be weird questions about how much that attorney's worked and what their hourly rate is and all of that. So usually attorney's fees aren't paid separately in a settlement.